Good day, listener, and welcome to a Seminar for Goodwill online class. Do well and follow me on Facebook at a Seminar for Goodwill Maths class and YouTube at a Seminar for Goodwill online maths. Today, I'll be discussing a wonderful topic in mathematics, which is a fraction. What is a fraction? Fraction in mathematics represents the part of a whole number. Let's say, for example, I was after doing a wonderful work for my mom today. She brought out an orange. She said, "Son Tochukwu, please divide this orange into 4 parts." After dividing this orange into 4 parts, that I should take one portion of that orange. So I brought out the orange. I divided it into 4 equal parts, and I was told to take just this portion of this orange, which is 1 out of what? 4. So fraction is just a part of a whole number. Then summation of different fractions gives us what? 1. So this fraction has 3 types. We have number 1 type of a fraction is we have the proper fraction, we have the improper fraction, and we have a mixed fraction, or sometimes regarded as a mixed number, depending on your own way of perception. So let's write. So again, I repeat, we have basically 3 types of fraction. We have number 1, the proper fraction, number 2, the improper fraction, and number 3, the mixed number. Then this proper fraction, which is the first one, proper fraction can be seen as that particular fraction where the numerator is lesser than the denominator. For example, I have, from this particular example I gave you, I have 1 over 4. As you can see, this is a proper fraction. Reason is that we have this one, which is the numerator, and this one, which is what? The denominator. So, proper fraction exists in mathematics whenever the numerator is lesser than the denominator. We have another example of a proper fraction when we have 3 over 5. As you can see here, 3 is lesser than 5. So this forms what we call a proper fraction. For example, my mom said that I should divide a loaf of bread into 5 parts, that I should divide a bread. Okay, so this can represent the loaf of bread. So I was told to divide it into 5 parts. This is 1, 2, 3, this is 4, and this is 5. That after dividing this loaf of bread, that I should take 2 parts. So on taking 2 parts, I was able to have this. This represents a proper fraction, which is 2 out of the 5 slices of bread that I have. Then we move again. An improper fraction. An improper fraction exists whenever the numerator, let's say my numerator can be 5, is greater than the denominator. So I have 5 over 2. Pardon me to claim. Improper fraction. This particular type of a fraction occurs whenever the numerator is very, very big compared to what? The denominator. For example, I can say 5 over 2. As you can see, this is the numerator and this is the denominator. At this point, you can see that the numerator is greater than the denominator. And this forms what we call an improper fraction. We have another one, the last but not the least though, which is the mixed fraction. Mixed fraction occurs whenever we combine a whole number with a proper fraction. Let's say, for example, my mom said that I should take one loaf of bread and I should also take this portion of bread. So at this point, I'm having what? One loaf of bread at this point, which is one, and I should also take two out of five portions of this. So at this point, I'm having one whole number, 2/5. So a mixed fraction. So this particular type of fraction occurs whenever we combine a whole number. Let's say a loaf of bread and some portion of another loaf of bread. Let's say she told me to take this particular loaf of bread and I should take two out of what? Five. After dividing a loaf of bread into five, that I should take two portions out of that five. So at this point, I have one loaf of bread, which is a whole number, and I have another one, two out of what? Five. So this particular type of fraction occurs whenever we combine a whole number. For example, an orange, that I should take one, after taking one, that we should divide another one. So that portion that I got after dividing that particular one, joined with the one I'm adding, I have what? A mixed fraction. Another example of a mixed fraction, when I have three whole number, 1/2. This is a mixed fraction because I have combined a whole number, which is 3, and a what? A proper fraction. You can as well say that a mixed fraction occurs whenever we add a whole number and a proper fraction. So this particular type of fraction occurs in mathematics.